Hey, what's up? I'm Ga. This is Seven Mortal Sins. Welcome. So today I got for you guys a little bit of a PvP guide. It's going to be a series, so part of the PvP guide series. So today I'm going to go over to the Limbus arena, and we're going to talk about some of the meta stuff. Like if you're looking to play a meta team, there's two teams that really kind of come to my mind. Two styles of teams, I should say. And the meta right now is all about speed and crowd control. So let's jump into it. This is pretty much what I'm going to be focusing on right now. And like I said, speed and crowd control are really the kind of the kings of PvP right now. So if we go and look, so starting from the top, if you look at Dio's team, Sariel is a speed booster, Michael is a crowd control. She opens with crowd control. Kind of the same thing, kind of going down. You see a lot of Michaels, you see a lot of Sariels. Some Christmas Satans still. Leviathan is also pretty popular. Characters that boost your team's speed and like debuff enemy speed, boost move gauge, debuff move gauge. Really the whole goal of any meta team is to make it hard for your opponent's team to play the game and to give them as few turns as possible. So let's go ahead and just kind of put together some quick teams. So the main two team archetypes I've identified in the meta so far are hyper offense and crowd control focus. So like a hyper offense team is centered around boosting your character's move gauge, their speed, debuffing enemy speed, debuffing enemy move gauge, trying to get your team to just start running laps around the enemy before they can really do anything. And something like that really relies on this core right here, the Sariel Leviathan core. This is a speed core that is basically a staple in hyper offense teams. And the reason for that is because of Sariel's passive, her air wings giving all allies speed plus 10%. And then during her first 3 turns, she boosts the move gauge of all allies except for herself by 15%. So she's one of the fundamental units to just keep cycling your team and making them faster. And then Leviathan is going to give your team the edge at the start of battle with her Jealousy Vortex. She's got Gale and Slow there. So that really pushes your initial turn so that you can get to your other speed boosters, your other move gauge boosters, and stuff like that. And then from here, you really just want like powerhouse characters and characters that buff and debuff move gauge. So like Christmas Satan is basically another staple in hyper offense teams as your main DPS, but also she has her nuke right here reduces all enemies move gauge by 75%. So you just kind of turbo all of your speed into her, and then she nukes the enemy move gauge, which gives basically your whole team another free round of turns to keep going. And you're not going to be running a whole lot of defense on this team, or on a team like this. It is called hyper offense because you're going all in on speed and attack and just trying to hit as hard and as fast as possible while keeping your opponent down. You could also run like a green kind of core in this team with like something like this to just give Gunslinger Lucy just free reign. So like Sariel Leviathan and Maman are all going to be making Gunslinger Lucy insanely fast, and she's just going to go hard. So this is kind of like a dual DPS hyper offense team style right here. And the biggest weakness of a team like this is, well, it's crowd control. And crowd control is probably the #1 team style in the meta in PvP. This is like the cream of the crop kind of stuff right here. Personally, I'm a fan of hyper offense. It's satisfying to just watch just characters going fast and doing lots of damage. Crowd control's just annoying in my opinion, but it's very effective. High win ratio, all that good stuff. And I'm also missing one of the key characters to the crowd control archetype, and that would be Hero Gab, or Gabby. Hero Gabby, Angel Prefect Gabriel, right here. So she has a passive that dazes enemies. 2 random enemies at the start of battle. 2 random enemies get dazed, and that is essential for a crowd control focused team, because you want to stack as many characters as possible that have that ability to open with crowd control. So like Winter Lucy is going to be another character who has that at battle start. She freezes 2 random enemies. Another character to add in there would be, see if I can find her, Michael. Michael is basically a staple in all kinds of crowd control focused teams. She can be a tank with her all damage reduction. She can be a DPS in PvP because she can hit pretty hard. She can also be a team booster. She buffs move gauge on her skill 2, and then her passive stuns 2 random enemies at battle start. So you can see already right here with just 2 characters, I have the potential to crowd control up to 4 of my opponent's team members before they even get to do anything, and just rob them of their turns. You can also toss in someone like Choco Nona, who can charm a random enemy at battle start. So basically you just have like 2 or 3 characters with the CC open ability, and just debilitate your opponent's team. You can get so many free turns out of this, especially if you have another character on your team who is like lightning fast and has CC in their attacks that you can follow up with your CC opening with. Someone like Lucy here just gets wildly fast with all of her abilities. She's clocking in somewhere around 3k speed easily with her passive ability here. And then her skill 2 inflicts stun on the enemy with the highest speed. So she's another character that can just help keep suppressing your opponent's team. Like, technically you don't even need any kind of speed buffer on a team like this if you can just CC them the whole battle, and then they don't get to play, they don't get to do anything, and you just kill them with crowd control and damage. And there's very few ways around this right now other than bringing like a specialized counter, but that would require you to adjust your team and build kind of some off-brand characters. I mean, the biggest weakness for this team style is CC blockers, like Metatron. Metatron is one of the biggest counters to team styles like this, because her passive blocks crowd control for your character with the highest attack, and at higher skill ups she can block crowd control for up to 2 characters. And the other biggest weakness for this style of team is that it's not future proof. So we're getting a Star Shard set in the future, who knows when, but that set is going to basically block crowd control for like a turn or 2, depending on how many pieces of that set you equip. Which is another reason why I like hyper offense, because I know that team style is a little bit more future proof. Yeah, it has some counters, like Choco Astaroth. This is the main reason I hate this character, because she's really interfering with my main PvP style. She's kind of harshing my mellow, ruining my groove, throwing that off a little bit. But there's ways around her too. Then sometimes you'll run into like a hybrid hyperspeed / crowd control team, which would be almost something probably looking a little bit like this. Like they have like that Levy or Sariel core, or maybe you'll run into it with Mammon here instead of Leviathan to help boost Winter Lucy. Or even, you know, you could swap this out, and this is a little bit more leaning towards like the hyper offense with a splash of crowd control. You can do this and bring her back in, and then this is also like a really strong looking team here. But yeah, like it's all about crowd control, all about speed. The tank style, like archetype style of teams will be a lot better in the future. They're not quite as good as they could be, but as soon as we get that new Star Shard set, you can probably bet you'll start seeing a little more tank teams coming up. And then like there's always like rogue decks or off meta, anti meta, even teams that are always running around. So don't be afraid to, you know, try out some new stuff, and you know, definitely don't chase the meta. Build what you want to build, play what you want to play. But this is here if you're wondering what the meta looks like. Maybe you do want to play meta, or maybe you're like me and all the characters you like just happen to be relevant in the metagame, and everyone makes fun of you for that. But yeah, I'm gonna get Levy, Lord Levy from the Discord. We're gonna go over like some more anti-meta, rogue, off-meta, hybrid strategies. So that's gonna be fun. Look forward to that video. If it's already out, go check it out. And if you have any more questions about the metagame, how to build a meta team, what a meta team looks like, you know, feel free to ask me in the comments section or over on the Discord. You know, pretty much anything you see in this like top 10 ranking, well, you can probably bet is meta or very close to meta as far as team building goes. And with that, I'm gonna head out. See you in the next video. Peace.